I've got 5 part-time jobs in Germany for you that no one is talking about. They will pay you substantially more than the minimum wage people earn in ordinary part-time jobs here. It doesn't matter if you are an international student or not, every qualified person can work these jobs. All you have to do is pick one and take action. So let me give you all the sauce and the amounts you can earn. It's pretty common sense that there are always people who don't perform well either in school or at university. People fail their exams, their grades go down and they get really frustrated. Many of these students or their parents are desperately looking for tutors to help them. You might be surprised to hear that a lot of people will pay you good money to get their grades and performance up. So this is where tutoring as a student comes in. You don't have to be exceptionally good at a subject, you just need to know more than the person you're teaching. If you are in university, it would be easy to teach a 7th grader maths, right? If you are skilled in maths, piano, computer science or Latin, there are so many subjects where people are looking for guidance and tutors. If you're fluent in your native language or even English, offering language tutoring services can also be a lucrative thing to do. Many Germans want to improve their language skills and you can do private lessons or even join language schools here. When I go through the city, I see so many flyers on traffic light posts, either looking for tutoring or advertising it, so there is surely a lot of demand here. And what shocked me even more was the amount of money people were charging for these services or were willing to pay for them. Getting started is really easy here, you just need your brain, a normal amount of people skills and a couple of hours during the week. I'm sure you have all three. Now you need to get the word out about your service. There are a few different ways to approach this. You can simply search on university job boards, use social media or keep your eyes open for flyers in the city. Reach out to professors, academic departments or local tutoring agencies to ask for opportunities. These are all quick ways to find the right students. I would highly recommend starting there. But there is also something else you should consider to get really successful with this. It is word of mouth. It's very important to have a good reputation because keep in mind, a lot of the job offers are gonna come from word of mouth. If you do excellent tutoring for one student, be aware he or she has an entire class full of other potential people. And if you can bring that student's grades up, they will eventually know about you. Another smart way to approach this is to look for children from wealthy families or wealthy areas because they're gonna be willing to pay extra good money for high quality tutoring. We are not out here scamming people, but to offer good sessions to level up their studies and also learn something in the process. One of my buddies, his name is Samir, phenomenal guy, he even took it a step further and offered mass tutoring sessions. Here is how you make the big bang as a student. So what Samir did was he focused on giving Latin tutoring lessons. And there is a giant private school in his area that teaches Greek and Latin. And he told me, you know, I charge students 15 euros per hour, but I do 5 of them at the same time. So it's cheaper for students, but he can do more volume. Boom, an hourly wage of 75 euros, which is nuts as a university student. Of course, you can scale this more if you want, but I would say when you're doing normal tutoring, everything above 17 euros per hour is good. If you move into the more advanced territory, you can secure hourly wages of 20 to 30 euros. But do you know where companies love to spend a lot of money? Consulting. It is not a secret that people in consulting make big bang, and as you probably already know, since the industry is so huge, you can capitalize on this as a student. These jobs are more open for business students, of course, but keep in mind there are also other forms of consulting here, such as brand strategy, social media, etc. But the fact is that these jobs pay very handsomely. To get your hands on one of these jobs, ideally network with professors or join student consulting groups to gain more exposure. Many consulting groups are actively looking for student workers, and if you are a qualified individual and get the job, they pay you at least 20 euros or more per hour. So a colleague of mine, I think, earns like 25 euros an hour. And basically all he does is preparing PowerPoint presentations and doing some talking. Basically, that's the only thing consultants do. If you simply type in consulting working student jobs in Germany, you get a huge list. Consulting is very popular, but for a reason. It's well paid and literally everyone with specialized knowledge can become one. But let's move to the next well-paying part-time job in Germany. It is widely known that Germans are not necessarily known for crazy tech and IT. They specialize more in building cars, heavy industry and big pharma. But let me tell you, the tech industry is booming at the moment. Companies in Germany are finally noticing, hey, we are getting left behind, and they're not trying to hire good talent to stay in the game. There's definitely a lack of skilled individuals in IT, and you can capitalize on that. All around the globe, IT jobs are very well paid, and Germany is no exception. And if you have coding and software engineering skills, you can definitely expect higher salaries, even as a working student in a part-time job. When it comes to IT, you don't have to do a lot of searching to find a job because the demand is way higher than the supply. There are not many skilled and capable people with solid IT skills. The market is not as oversaturated as in the US, for example. I was recently talking with one of my Discord community members about IT jobs. She has recently secured a working student position as a software development assistant in Frankfurt. And I got a bit more curious. I also study computer science and design. And since we both are very open about finances and salaries, and I wanted to do some research for this video, she told me that she makes 30 euros per hour in a medium-sized tech company. Now, I got offered a couple of IT positions as a working student in smaller tech companies in Munich, and they were all talking about hourly wages of 25 euros or more. So yes, it seems like IT jobs are very well paid compared to other job categories. So the next part-time job is massively overlooked. No one really talks about this. Have you ever thought about being a field interviewer and field researcher? Me neither. It doesn't sound glamorous, but apparently it's lucrative. As with all the part-time jobs so far in this video, I got all these ideas from people close to me. In this case, about a week ago, I was talking to a buddy of mine whom I hadn't seen in a long time. We were discussing careers, student jobs, all that stuff, and I asked him, so what do you do? And he goes like, oh, I started this field interviewer thing 2 months ago, and so far it has been well paid. So what he's essentially doing is conducting important surveys and interviews for various research projects and assisting in data collection. Nothing revolutionary, just interacting with a wide range of people. Yeah, I know it sounds a bit boring, but oftentimes money is made with boring things. Now, field interviewer jobs are a bit tricky to find. Good hourly wages are not everywhere, and the job listings for field interviewers and researchers are quite rare, but if you manage to find one, you're lucky. From what I heard from a buddy, hourly wages between 18 and 25 euros are very common. Let's move on to the fifth part-time job. Now, filmmaking and video editing are things that I have been doing myself, so all of this comes from my own experience. I can say filming and editing videos are skills that are in extremely high demand right now. Everybody wants to be on social media, and companies now all of a sudden want TikTok videos and start a podcast. Similar to IT and tech, media is the next big thing. You're gonna get paid more than for working in retail, for example, because your skill set is more unique. Not everybody knows how to use a camera or how to use editing software like Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve to put together dope edits. There are actually multiple different kinds of jobs you can do if you have filmmaking and editing skills. In my eyes, video editing is one of the best skills you can learn as a student, but I will get into more detail in a future video. Of course, with decent editing skills and a good portfolio, you can make so much more money in freelancing, but I can understand that not everybody wants or can do that. A stable part-time job is also a good idea. But even if you are, for example, a video editor in a company, 20 euros per hour minimum is a must. When you get into a more advanced territory, for example, you can offer more specialized skill sets, 25 to 30 euros per hour as a working student is also possible. All the basic jobs you can do as a student, waiting tables, delivery, etc. These jobs can be very nice to begin with, but they usually pay minimum wage. If you have the capacity, I can highly recommend transitioning to one of the higher paying jobs I mentioned in this video. Working a job as a student can be incredibly beneficial. You can cover your living expenses or build up extra savings for the future and build yourself up financially. I put some helpful finance-related resources for students in the video description. And if you want to talk to like-minded people about studying in Germany and other student stuff, we have a huge Discord community for that. Love you and stay focused.